All right, I think we're live. Welcome to Base 10 Montessori. Hi, everybody. My name is Teresa, and I have to start out by saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed. I made it to 100 subscribers. That was actually my goal for the year, to get to 100 subscribers by December. And it's July, so I'm really excited that I came in ahead of schedule. So I guess I'll just have to pick up a new goal for December, maybe 150. I don't know. I'll have to think what my next goal is going to be. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. This was um, a really fun surprise for today. I was getting close, and I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, is today going to be the day? And then it rolled over onto 100. And then I thought, okay, I can do my live stream. I can do my live stream where I show you some of the things that I did during training. And then I thought, wait a second, if I have a 100 subscribers and one of them drops while I'm doing the celebratory live stream, and I drop down to 99, can I still celebrate? Can I still do the live stream? And I thought, yeah, I can. So regardless of what happens from here on out, we're going to do this live stream, and I'm just going to celebrate anyways, and we'll see what happens. But thank you to everyone who subscribed, and we're just going to do a relaxing, fun live stream today. Let me check the sound quality real quick. Let me see. So what I have for today is I'm going to actually show you a lot of, not so much the training center, because I don't know if I can show you too much of the pictures I took in the training center. That might, I don't know if that's against the rules to show you that, but I thought I'd at least show you some of the fun stuff, more like the touristy type of stuff that I did. But let me see if the sound is working real quick. I think it's probably good. I don't think the mic is too hot this time, so I think that's good. So the sound is going, and now let's switch over to this. So this is my video, and this is where I went to training, my Montessori training. I went to the Montessori Institute of San Diego. And when I was trying to think about what training to go to, I had so many, oh, I guess it's deciding to play. I'm going to put a pause on that right at the second. I had so many questions about which training to get, where I would go. Would I do AMS training? Would I do AMI training? And if so, what location? And you can go anywhere in the world. One of my trainers said, oh, you really should get trained in elementary and go to Bergamo, Italy. And I thought, okay, that sounds great. I don't see that happening. But that sounds like a lovely idea, right? But I ended up going to the Montessori Institute of San Diego. One of my friends, one of my coworkers wanted to go there because they had a family that lived in the area, and the Montessori Institute was offering a 2-summer program versus the 3-summer program. So it'd be a little bit more affordable, and it would also be allow me to get my certification quicker. So basically the 2-summer program is kind of like doing the 1-year long program, only you come for your first summer, you go home, you do all the stuff on your own, go through your observations, your student teaching, work on your albums, and then you come back the second summer. And I think my screen is freezing up, so let me see here. Is my screen freezing up? There it is. So the second summer you come back, you take your exams, you get a little bit more information, you get a little bit more time in the practice classrooms with the materials, and then you take your exams. You have written exams, and then you have oral exams, and then you have to turn in your albums, and your albums have to pass as well. So that is kind of the process. And also, you know, when I was looking at different places to go to, I saw Montessori Institute of San Diego, and I saw how beautiful it was, and I'm like, I really want to go there. I won't lie, that was kind of a selling point too, is that when I thought, oh, I could go to Wisconsin, I could go to Georgia, I could go to Arizona, and then I saw San Diego, and I'm just like, yeah, that's where I want to go. So Dr. Dubovoy began the Montessori Institute of San Diego. Wonderful, wonderful lecturer, does a lot of wonderful psychology lectures. So Highly recommend the Psychology Lectures by Sylvia Dubovoy. And she always had a saying during training, and we quoted it all the time. And I feel like my stream is really, I don't know if my internet is having issues. I think my internet's probably having some issues. So we'll see. If I keep having issues, then might cut it short and we'll try this again a different day. But I'm going to try to persevere. But anyways, Dr. Dubovoy always had a saying during training, and she said, if you like it, that's the way it is. If you don't like it, that's still the way it is. And so that's kind of what we said all summer. If you like it, that's the way it is. If you don't like it, that's still the way it is, right? And if you like that saying, go ahead and say it. I've kind of adopted it myself. So once you hear it, it kind of just sticks with you. And when you're working with children, you find yourself saying that a lot. So anyways, here is the beginning of my video, and I'll probably pause once in a while just to talk about things a little bit more. But this is MISD, Montessori Institute of San Diego. And so it's a very lovely little campus. It's actually in a Jewish temple. So the temple that it was at is actually part of like this Jewish synagogue. So they just rented a space. They just rented a space from that temple. So there were a lot of other things that went on there besides just the Montessori Institute. And then as you can see, there's La Jolla right there in the background, and you'll get to see more of those pictures. And that was kind of a selling point when I started looking at their website. I was like, oh, 2 summers. And then you think, maybe I should have done 3 summers. So on my way out to San Diego, I had to stop in Las Vegas, right? I stayed at the Excalibur. I had never stayed at the Excalibur before. I stayed at the Aria, and I've stayed at the Monte Carlo. So I liked staying at the Excalibur. It's fun. I mean, Vegas is fun. I only had a couple, actually not even a couple. I only had 1 day there. So, you try to put in a good day's worth of stuff into Las Vegas, but some stuff has to get left out somewhere. So this is Caesar's Palace right here. This is the Bellagio. I always like eating breakfast right here next to the garden in the Bellagio. It's just a really pretty area. Different people have different tastes. Another picture of the Bellagio. They redecorate this with different themes throughout the year. So every time I go, there's something different going on in this little garden area. And this is Paris, and this is actually my favorite place to have brunch in Las Vegas is the Little Paris Cafe. I find it just very relaxing and low-key in there. And this is a storefront window. It had steampunk hats, and I am obsessed with steampunk. It's just one of those weird quirks that I have. I love steampunk. So and also, while I was in Las Vegas, they were setting up for American Ninja Warrior. So right there, you can see them setting up. They weren't filming at that time. They were still just doing the setup. So it's a really, really grainy picture of the setup for American Ninja Warrior. So that was kind of fun. And now I finally made it to San Diego. And the first thing I did when I went to San Diego, I'm going to pause right here, is I stayed at Old Town. So we got into San Diego. I think this is the Holiday Inn there in Old Town San Diego. And I think this picture is from the pool area. And it just took the picture of the city landscape of San Diego as soon as I got in there, which I never went into the city part of San Diego. I either went to Old Town or I was in La Jolla. So just some of the shops in Old Town is absolutely beautiful. I love Old Town. I could do without the city stuff. I'm not into the city stuff, but when it comes to some of the older things like in Old Town San Diego, that's the kind of stuff I absolutely love. I didn't really get into doing anything outside of Old Town. If I had a chance, I would be in Old Town. That's where I like to spend my time. Either that or actually in La Jolla. So I'm not much of a city person, but this is just beautiful. It was so colorful there. And right here, this is a picture of Cafe Coyote, very popular restaurant in Old Town San Diego. And I thought it was okay. The food, I actually liked a different restaurant better, but the food was definitely good at Cafe Coyote, but I actually liked it better for breakfast than for dinner. Their breakfast is really good. But one of the things I learned here is that handmade tortillas are the best things ever, and I will never, ever, ever go back to eating regular tortillas. I came back from San Diego and I thought I have to learn how to make tortillas by hand because that was just the best thing ever. So aside from, I have like two goals in life. One, to make homemade tortillas and not eat store-bought tortillas anymore. And then the other thing is, my other quest in life is to find the world's best fish taco, which at the moment I think is somewhere in the San Diego vicinity. The food there in San Diego is absolutely incredible. Um, and that's all I really have to say. The food in San Diego was, I think, probably the best I've had anywhere I've been. So this is a picture of the restaurant again. More of that one. It's a really fun little place, and they have people serenading you, mariachi bands and stuff like that. And then this was actually my favorite restaurant in Old Town. This is Fred's. It's a dog-friendly restaurant. A lot of places are dog-friendly in San Diego area. It's pretty common. But this was Fred's. I really liked Fred's. I liked the food just a little bit more. I liked the atmosphere just a little bit more, so I would say that was my favorite place to go in Old Town San Diego was Fred's, but everything else was pretty good too. And this is just again more of Old Town in the little shops area. It's really beautiful. I think I have another little video coming up, not just a picture. So here are some beautiful flowers. In this little shops area, we found a really cool hot sauce shop. Awesome, is that Awesome Hot Sauce? I'd have to look it up again. Anyways, you could go in and you could taste test all sorts of hot sauce. And I loved it. We bought so much hot sauce, it's ridiculous. They had I got the chocolate hot sauce too, which is really good on cheesecake, actually. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So this right here is the University of San Diego. This was my dorm. This is where I stayed. I had, they assigned me 2 roommates and they were much younger than me. It was a little bit awkward. Here's my dorm room. There's no air conditioning. I was on the 4th floor and there's no air conditioning in these buildings. I think I had a ceiling fan. But in San Diego, you really didn't need it. And it didn't really get hot until more into August. This is a view of the courtyard from my dorm room. And University of San Diego is one of the most beautiful campuses, I think, in the world. This is me just studying in that courtyard, taking some time. And it was pretty quiet the beginning of the summer, but as the summer went on, more things started to happen. And it got louder and busier and crowded and less comfortable. So right now, this was the beginning of summer, and it was really quite quiet and beautiful. And I loved walking around the campus. Like every time I'd get back from training, I would go to the other side of campus, and there's a lot of hills, a lot of hills. So it was a good workout. So up and down the hills, going across to the other side of campus. It was a great way to study, great way to avoid roommates, which I did. You know, when you're almost 40, it's like, I don't really want to do the roommate thing. Anyway, so yeah, lots of great hills on campus. So if you're into getting some walking in, it was a really great way to kind of unwind from the day. Right here is one of my favorite study spots. So I'd get done with training. I'd come back to the University of San Diego where I was staying, and I'd find a place on campus to study. And here I am just sitting outside because the temperature is perfect in San Diego. It's absolutely perfect. Like even in the evenings, it got a little chilly. As you can see, the campus, they had little fire pits all around campus. So I just work and beside the little fire boxes weren't always running, but as you can see in the back here, there's a little mini golf course, a little putt-putt area. So that's another thing on campus. Lots of water fountains on campus. Like I said, it was a great place to just be inspired and work, at least for the first part of summer. End of summer, not so much. And then this, so this is still University of San Diego, but down towards the right-hand side in all of that landscape right there, those are all hiking trails. So not only did you have the campus that you could walk around on, if you wanted to get more into the nature part of it, you could go down. There's all those trails down there that you could walk to, and you could walk all the way to the bay if you wanted to. And I didn't do that, but you can. You can if you want to. And then right here, this is my lemon from training. This is an observational training, and I kept my lemon. And by that point in time, the summer had been pretty crazy, so I felt like Tom Hanks in Castaway, so I just put a little face on my lemon and took it for a walk. So the Battle Trail, so that's that trail that's next to the University of San Diego campus. And I loved it until I saw the signs for rattlesnakes, and that's when I decided I think I was ready to go back to Michigan. And I'm like, oh, okay, rattlesnakes. I hadn't thought about that, and now I'm thinking about that, and now I can't stop thinking about that. And I think I'd like to go back to Michigan. So that was more like at the end of summer, and I was like, oh, I think I'm ready to go home now. So the University of San Diego at night is just gorgeous. I'd stay up late studying, and you know, there's so much. There were so many lights around there that it was easy to just um, still keep working even after dark. So as the sun would set, you know, the fountains would light up. It was very peaceful. It was very therapeutic. Montessori training is extremely strenuous. It's very stressful. There's a lot that you have to get done. There's a lot you're stressed out about. You don't get much sleep at night. So finding little places where you can just relax and be inspired is really important, especially when you're around all these new people, or some of the people you're going to get along with, some of the people you're not going to get along with, and you're going to have to figure out how to be in close spaces and then also find time for yourself. So that was something that I found very valuable, was just having time to go out and walk and enjoy where I was at. And actually staying at the University of San Diego was about the cheapest thing I could have done. I think it was about, with parking permit, maybe like $70. Was it 70? It was cheaper than a hotel. It was cheaper than a motel. Anyways, so there's the courtyard at night. I absolutely loved it. And I'm not a night person. I'm not somebody who likes to go out at night, but I found myself out at night all the time. Just because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss nightlife, even at the University of San Diego. You know, I didn't even get much off campus, and I was loving it there. And I kept on thinking, well, maybe I need to come and get my doctorate here just so I can come back. I don't think that's going to happen, but on here, you know, they have the hammocks out, and that's next to one of the little restaurants there, and it was a full moon. And cameras never capture the full moon unless you have really good equipment. They don't capture that ambiance of the full moon. So, but it was really beautiful. And this right here, I don't know if you can see it. It's a raccoon. So around where those hammocks were, I was walking back to my dorm, and right across the street from me, staring at me, just like 10 feet away, was this raccoon. And I was like, oh, all right. So that was an unexpected little run-in I had right there, and I thought, I'll just stay on this side of the road, you stay on that side of the road. And eventually he just started walking off, so I had to wait for him. And this is a picture of the 4th of July. If you're at the University of San Diego campus, it's spectacular. Everywhere you turn, there are fireworks going off. So I didn't even have to leave campus to go see fireworks, which, like I said, I'm not a night person. I don't like driving at night. So the fact that I could stay there and watch all those fireworks go off, not only did I get to work longer on my assignments, but I still had time to watch the fireworks and not have to leave campus. So here's La Jolla. Now La Jolla is actually where my training center was. So I stayed at the University of San Diego, and I went to La Jolla every single day for training. And La Jolla is beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful. So they have, it's just fantastic as far as you'll see here coming up a little sea lion, La Jolla seals right here. And so you could just walk right up to them take videos, take pictures, all that good stuff. And then there's the caves right there in that area where you can go walk through them, you can kayak through them. And it's just incredible how it has been just sculpted by the water. More seals. I mean, they're cute, right? But you don't want to get too close because they will attack. This is La Jolla Cove. It's a pretty popular spot. And if you can see in the background, there's a little trail that goes by it. So you can go down into the cave from the shop that's right there, but there's also a trail that goes from there down to the beach. And here's a video of that trail. And so you can just see the scenery is absolutely beautiful. I walked everywhere when it came to going through La Jolla. I just parked far away. I would have to take a picture of where I parked so that I can remember the street name so I can find my way back. I'm kind of directionally challenged like that. I'm not good at directions. Another picture of La Jolla Cove, and you can see the kayakers in the back, and that's one of the things that I loved doing the most when I was going to training. I decided to do some ocean kayaking, and that's probably one of my absolute favorite memories is doing the ocean kayaking. If I could have gone out on the ocean kayaking every single day, I would have been a happy person. But I was still happy I got to go at least once, right? So more kayaking pictures. The kayaking trip I went on was only an hour, which, you know, at the end of it, I'm like, oh, really? I could have spent like 5 more hours out here. It's just incredible. And I mean, we have a lot of water in Michigan, right? So, I mean, it's still beautiful here, but it's obviously it feels different. Oh, there's a picture of me kayaking with one of my classmates. And, you know, this was taken by one of those waterproof disposable cameras, 35 millimeter. Those still exist, apparently. And this is the San Diego Zoo and Chula Vista coming up. So when we went to the San Diego Zoo, we did that as a class for our observations. And all summer, I saw in the training center, there was a little wooden rhinoceros, and I absolutely loved that wooden rhinoceros. And from that point on, I knew when we were going to go to the zoo to do our animal observations, I knew I wanted to do the rhinoceros. So I spent all summer waiting for this moment because the rhinos, and there it is, there's my rhino. So I had to spend, I want to say an hour. I think it was an hour at the zoo just doing observations, trying to get into that scientific methodology of observing an animal without an interpretation, right? We're not going to interpret anything. We're just going to write down exactly what we see. We're going to draw the enclosure. We're going to draw a picture of the animal, which if you've seen the way I draw, it's not my forte. But somewhere around here, I'm sure I still have it. I'm not sure where my observation journal notebook is, but I'll have to look for that. But I loved the rhino. So also something about this, it's called Rhinoceros Unicornus. So when children talk about unicorns, I bring it back to, you know, there's a real unicorn. It's called Rhinoceros Unicornus. So there you go. And of course, because I love the rhinoceros, I had to get rhinoceros stuff as souvenirs. So that's a couple things I bought for my niece and nephew when I was out there. And then Chula Vista, and this is Tacos El Gordo. One of my classmates took us down to Chula Vista, I believe, and took us to this restaurant. She said, you have to eat here. It's absolutely, you just have to. So we did, and then we got there, and you know, I was looking at the menu, and it's beef head, brain, beef tongue, and I was like, I think I might just go with the vegetarian option, and they don't have a vegetarian option. So the vegetarian option is non-existent. So the so I ended up eating cactus. So so this is a cactus taco right here. So right here, and let me see, it says my connection isn't very good today. I don't know what's going on with that. So We'll see. I don't know if my connection's having some problems. Hold on, before I go further, let me check my connection. Um, let's see. I'll try to keep going. If this doesn't go well, I'll just, I can post this on here, just the video by itself at some point in time. So let's see here. So this is cactus, and I think the way I would describe cactus is if asparagus and a pickle got married and had a baby, it would taste like cactus. That is what cactus tastes like. It's not bad. I had more than what I wanted of the cactus in this, but you know, I didn't really want to eat brain or tongue, so I thought cactus is a good option. I think my screen froze again, but there we go. So anyways, the cactus is a really good option if you don't want to eat the other stuff. All right, so this is the train to Disneyland. This is, we got on at Old Town San Diego and we took the train up to LA. This is just a little bit. I think we got on the train at like, I think it left at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So we took the earliest train we could up to LA. And it was a really pretty ride. The midnight train back was really the one that was more interesting. That has some other stories to tell that I'm not going to tell right now. So here we are at Disneyland, and it's definitely different. I didn't have a lot of memory of Disneyland. I lived in Florida for a little while, so I'm pretty familiar with Disney World, but I went to Splash Mountain because that's my favorite ride. That's the ride I always go on. That is the first thing I always go on is Splash Mountain. So I went to Splash Mountain first at Disneyland, and I thought, wow, this is a bit different than it is at Disney World. So it's kind of nice that they're different. It's kind of nice you can do different things when you're at different places. And here's the teacups, which I did not go in. And I learned as an adult, they are really, really uncomfortable. Not feeling the same at all as when you're a child. And this is the Small World ride, and it looks different than Disney World, so that was kind of fun. This is more of It's a Small World, which I thought it was kind of fun. They do some different things in there, and it was really pretty. And I like that ride. I know some people, it's not their cup of tea. I like it. And this is, I think it's the New Orleans area. Look at that. Just look at how shoulder to shoulder packed it is. Keep that in mind. I mean, it was really, really packed. This was the beginning of August. I think it was on a Saturday, pre-COVID. So it was really, really packed. And then they had just opened Galaxy's Edge. And it was so depressing. It was the most depressing thing I've ever seen at a Disney location. It was empty. Which on the one hand, it's really nice because it was like, oh, if I need to get away from the crowds and just go sit down, drink some water, use the bathroom, Galaxy's Edge was a really nice empty place to go to just kind of rest and relax. But sadly, it was really disappointing. It didn't even feel like Star Wars. So I was really, I did not care for it. And it wasn't based on the original trilogy, which I also didn't like. However, they did do one thing right. And what they did, I'm going to pause it right there. What they did is they took Space Mountain and turned it into a Star Wars ride. And for people who like Space Mountain the way it is, I totally understand. But after being so disappointed in Galaxy's Edge, I went over to Hyperspace Mountain. I was really debating, do I really want to wait in line all this time just to go on Space Mountain? But I did. And I have no regrets. I absolutely loved it. If you're a Star Wars fan, they set up Space Mountain so that it has all the Star Wars stuff in it. So you're going through, you hear the music, you hear the sounds, you hear all everything from the movies going on. And this is original trilogy, not prequels, not sequels. This is the original trilogy. and it has the sound in it, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing. So when I got out of the ride, I wanted to at least reward Disney for at least giving me a glimpse of what could have been. And so when I went to the gift store, one of the things I wanted to look for was something of General Akbar, because after watching the sequel trilogy, I was like, oh, I feel like, I should have something of General Akbar, because I was hoping they'd have a plushie or something, because I felt like he needed a hug after the sequel trilogy. I thought, oh, they did him wrong. So I really wanted to get something, and I was asking around in the gift shop, and they were like, they didn't even know who that character was, and I thought, okay. But anyways, they hardly had any original trilogy stuff, even in this gift shop. But one thing they did get, and hold on, I'll see if I can show you. See this scarf right here, what I'm wearing? This is actually the one thing I bought was like the original trilogy. It's a scarf, and it's got Darth Vader, and it's got C-3PO, R2-D2, Han Solo, all that cool stuff. So that is what I ended up getting, and my screen looks like it's freezing up again, but anyways, so that's one thing I got from the gift shop, because I really, when you see what Disney could have done and they didn't do with Star Wars when it comes to doing something really fun and really interesting in something that really felt like Star Wars, and they just didn't do it. And then I caught a glimpse of it. I was like, yeah, I need to at least give them a reward to say, this is the kind of stuff you need to have, right? And then another thing I love is the Haunted Mansion. I absolutely love the Haunted Mansion. So I got the little apron, and I got these cool socks, and I thought these socks are so cool. And then I put them on my feet, and when you stretch them, it totally, you can't even see the picture in it. So they were not good quality. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. Yeah, the pictures, once those socks stretch to put them on your feet, they are totally warped. You can't even tell what they are. So you can look at it, but you can't wear it. So anyways, this is the light parade, which is cute. It's fun, right? It's beautiful. I'm gonna fast forward through that because it's just the light parade. Anyways, this is my car all packed up, ready to go, ready to leave San Diego. I've got my car top carrier on, and I actually skipped the last day of class because we weren't doing anything to go out to Torrey Pines. So this is out at Torrey Pines in La Jolla, and the hiking there is absolutely fantastic. It's something I hadn't gotten around to doing, and I wanted to do. It was something everybody told me, go to Torrey Pines and go hiking. And so I did. And again, another rattlesnake sign, so made me a little nervous. Snakes are not my favorite. So here is just one of the signs for the trails. They have different hiking trails, big hills. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful cardio workout, and it's just beautiful. And I have no regrets. I have no regrets skipping class that day to go hiking right before I left, because this was about the end right here. My very last day before I was going to get on the road and start going home. In which I did. I drove all the way out to California, and I drove back to California. My mom helped me drive out. My dad helped me drive back. I didn't do a whole lot of fun things on the way out and on the way back, except for on the way out I did have that one day in Las Vegas. So it was just a lot of driving. Torrey Pines is beautiful. It's just beautiful. And there I am, and at Torrey Pines with my little Be Different hat. So there you go. That is San Diego. That was my training in a nutshell. The training part, maybe not so much, but that is kind of what the experience was outside of training, right? And I just wanted to show you, if you're kind of interested in what Space Mountain is like, as far as having that Star Wars theme to it. Attractions 360 has a video. It's kind of shaky. I don't know. It gives you the idea. Look at General Akbar right there. Nobody in the gift shop knew who he was. They didn't have like anything when I went to the gift shop. How sad is that? It's pretty sad. Anyways, if you're interested in watching the ride, I'm not going to play it here. Go over to their page, give them the clicks, give them the views, and watch through it if you're kind of interested in what that experience is like. So that's all I have to say for that one. And like I said, this was just a thank you stream to say thank you for subscribing and getting those 100 subscribers. And should we check? Should we check to see if I'm still at 100? Yep, I am. Yay! Thanks for subscribing and staying at least subscribed throughout this video. So that's at least good. But anyways, that is all I really have. I just wanted to say thank you and show you a little bit of what I did during training. And next week, I think I'm going to dive more into language. I have some things on my mind for language that I really want to get into. And I'm going to start, my goal is to start with the 3-year-olds, start in that three-year-old age group. And I think I kind of want to go, I don't know if I'm going to strictly just focus on the Montessori aspect, because I also want to give you some information when it comes to what are those warning signs for dyslexia. And if we're looking at even 3-year-olds, what should we be looking at, right? Because a lot of people don't really know what to look for. And when their children start writing and they're writing letters backwards, they get really worried about that. So I just kind of want to calm people's fears when it comes to what the warning signs are and what kind of activities you should be doing at home for the 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds, and what kind of red flags might indicate, yes, there might be something going on here. There might be dyslexia, there might be a learning disability, or, they might just be delayed. So those are some of the things I want to work on starting next week. And also I will keep continuing on with my Absorbent Mind series. So that's the other thing I'm going to do. So that's all I have for today. I hope you liked looking at the video. I'm hoping that my internet wasn't so bad that it made this video really difficult to watch, but I'll keep working on my connectivity to see if I can do some improvements there. So anyways, that's all I have. And if you have any comments, any questions, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I will see you in the next video.